Easy drop is good, but nothing is on down here. Gotta see where we're losing power. Let's check for power coming in. We got 24 between red and common. Let's do common and yellow. That thermostat should be on. There you go. All right, that's the 68. Yeah, thermostat should kick on in just a second. Our breaker was tripped here, and then we also had this float switch that was triggered up here. If this is pulled up, then there's no 24 volts to the thermostat. But I just make sure that's down. Just gonna force it on from downstairs. Yeah, let me just take a look at the outdoor unit. As long as that turned on, then we should be good to go. No, she still hasn't turned on. No, she's not on. So the thermostat reset, but nothing kicked on here. And between common and yellow, we have 27 volts. So we know that our outdoor unit should be kicking on. So we're gonna go take a look outside and see what's going on. go run outside and see what's going on. Alright, so we're getting power out here, but it's not kicking on. So I just gotta see what's going on out here. Oh, she's on now. Cool. Strange. I'm just gonna check the pressures, make sure that's okay. Cool. I need my little device over here for that. Still recording it. Yeah, I don't know why it's acting that way. Check field link on my phone. It's always good to have. It's 410A. Put a timer on here, about 10 minutes or so. I'm gonna let her stabilize and see. But I think she's low. 140 is pretty good though. 140 and 300. Alright, so we checked on this unit. The unit's very, very low. Our subcooling's at 0.7, 300 on liquid side, 130 on the suction side. We kind of want to be something a little bit higher than that, maybe like the 330s, because it's pretty hot outside right now. So, I gotta take off my maintenance gauges on here. I wouldn't need to use the manifold. If I had a little adapter for these field pieces, I could just add in through the suction line, which would make it a lot easier. versus taking out these big gauges here. I would just need a hose and scale the refrigerant, which is nice, but we don't got that right now, so we're gonna have to work with what we got. We're gonna set up this scale here. We're gonna turn her on. We're gonna put her on there, and we don't want to tear it yet. We want to do that once the hoses are attached, just because they do add a little bit of weight. But for this, we'll take this off here, turn our gauges on. Good thing we got long gauges. So she's on. Let's turn on the light. So make sure everything's closed and tight. Take our blue hose, go into the suction side, also known as our low side. And got her in there. Our low side clamp on the low side as well. Super simple. Our red, which is our high side, on the discharge line, also known as our liquid line. We're gonna go ahead and put her in there. Make sure she's tight in there. We got our high side here. Just gonna feed her through the back. Put her right here. And let's see what we got. Yeah, so 130 on the low, 300 on the high, 20 superheat, and 0 subcool. So, you know, she's not really cooling at all. So we're gonna take off our vacuum line or a charge line, whatever you want to call it. And we're gonna hook her up right here. She's still not open. And keep her closed here. Now we're gonna open her up here. And you get a little bit of air, so you want to bleed this out a little bit. So you could go like this. Okay, now she's open. Now we can open her up all the way. Then we can turn her around. Then we can click tear. Okay, so yeah, I'm just gonna tear again just cause. All right, and yeah, so we're gonna open up our suction line. I don't have to open up all the way like that, but I do. And we're gonna feed through the refrigerant line here. We're gonna feed through our refrigerant line. Okay, so open up high side and feed through our refrigerant line. And I'm looking at the ounces, how much I'm ounting in. I'm at 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Close her up. You want to add a lot at one time. Kind of just want to measure her in, feel her out. Hardly any change with that, really. My subcooling is going back into the negatives. So I can tell she's pretty low. So I'm just gonna open her up again. I'm gonna add about a pound. Close her up. That's a pretty substantial amount now. So we can see kind of what's going on here. You can see her superheat dropped. Normally you want to wait about 10 minutes every time you add refrigerant in so it can cycle through. I'm gonna give it maybe like a minute or two just because I could tell she was really low. The line is starting to cool down though, so she's definitely doing something. Because we don't want to do is we don't want to overcharge her. So we can give it like a minute or so, and then I'll come back and clip that in, see if we need to add some more. Alright, so we're back after about 10 minutes or so waiting. Our subcool is still at 0.5, so it went up a little bit from the negatives. So we're gonna add another pound in here probably. Doesn't seem like just adding about a pound or so is gonna do the job. So again, we're just opening up the refrigerant line here and watching our scale. Just putting in about 10 ounces there. We should see some change. We could hear a sound and the change in the sound in the compressor. Maybe put a little bit too much in there, a little too quickly. Our second bit in there. And again, here's our scale. Our scale's right here. So we're weighing it in. We're not just putting it in there willy-nilly and seeing what happens. Yeah, then we'll just wait and see another 10 minutes or so for that to all stabilize. So we're about 3 pounds in, and our subcooling here is 5. So we've gone up a substantial amount, but we've got to add a good amount. So we're gonna just keep going in there, add up to like 3.7, maybe 3.8, call it a day. This is a recent install in the winter. They probably just didn't charge it right. Our guys do clean jobs. And there you go, our subcooling is all the way up to 8. So yeah, just gotta take everything apart here and then we'll get done. So we'll close this off here. We're closing off our yellow line. We're closing off our tank. We still have some in this line here. So we're gonna connect it back to our yellow side here. Just trying to make this cleaner. So back to our yellow. So we're going to open this back up, let that all flow in through our low side. Should be good about there. We're going to close this off. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take off our clamps just so we can get them out the way. Okay. And then we're going to start with our high side. Yeah, and I think this seal is broken. That sucks. Yeah, it's just leaking out my gauges. Well, we put that back on. We're gonna open it up anyways. We're letting all this flow back into the low side. Once the pressures are even, then we know we're good. And then we're gonna close here, our manifold here. Take off our low side. Put that on here. Then we still have some refrigerant in there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open up the refrigerant line and that'll squirt out. So open these two up, open the refrigerant line, and close them up. Close everything up. Make sure everything's tight. Cool. And yeah, we're good to go. We just gotta put these cabs back on and take everything back to the truck. All this was under warranty. This is a brand new system just installed in November. And the guys probably just mischarged it here. Alright, you guys.